Alright guys, hopefully I have enough space in my phone to record this. But throwout bearing is going out. Let me see. This is the throwout bearing. I have the new sleeve for it too because that's in reality what's really broke. At first this inner ring broke out and it was pushing more against the sleeve. I'll show you that in a minute, but these are issues there. You just gotta drop the transmission. Just another transmission right here. But I'll show you that. I just rehooked the battery up. I got the car in the air. For one, you're gonna feel that your clutch is like sticks. It doesn't really go all the way down. Didn't try to do that. And whenever you start it, you're gonna hear an infamous squeal. So you let go. And if you try to put it in gear, for one, it would just stall. I'm not really gonna do that because it's pretty loud right now. Or, yeah, so I'll try to show y'all that. It's pretty easy to drop your transmission. You do need quite a bit of tools. Hopefully I have the tools here in my garage. Just moved into this new house. So I got my own little workshop eventually once I clear all this out. I have stuff everywhere. But first, to start off, you remove, you know, your shifter, your shift knob. I'm trying to do this all on, hopefully I have enough space in this phone. I usually use my other phone to record everything. So bam, this comes out. Mosquitoes. My clip has always been broken, so I'm not worried about that. You lift this up, you pull this tab out, which is right here. Oh, my fingers are no, here it is. It's right here. If I can get it out. I'll turn the light on for y'all too. Hopefully that helps. I'll set the phone up like this. It's a little tab right there. Push down and then pull. Mine just stuck, so I've taken this out so many times. I'm surprised it's not broken yet. I'm probably gonna break it right now since I said that. Oh, damn. There we go. Now, just push that out, and then you have 4 10 mils right here, and then you have some more. And also, if you turn the car on with this disconnected, it turns your heater on full blast. So be prepared if you go take that out. And I'm gonna get the taking these out right now. Yep, I tried to run take it. Hey, turn it off, but your 10 mil. They're 10 mil, or I believe a 12 for 370s. But this process is pretty much exactly the same. The only difference between the CDO1 through CDO8, which is G35, G37, some G37s, not all G37s, and but mainly 350Zs, CDO1, CDO2, 3, 7, and 8. I think there is 5 and 6. I'm not sure. Well, at least I know for these, the process is all the same for the DE powered vehicles. This just comes off. This does bend a lot, very easy. You can buy a like non-rubber one from Z1, I believe. And then you pop the second boot out. Ugh. Pretty hard to do with one hand. Also, because this one came with like a way newer boot. This transmission only had 70k miles on it. I've already swapped it out. Well, swapped out the OEM one that came with this one. The VIN on the trans matches the VIN on the car, so it's the OEM one. This boot comes off. When you're reinstalling it, if you have a different shifter, some of them are wider, you can just put WD-40 or some type of oil or grease in there. Come out a lot better. And then just take these. Also, kind of want to make sure it's a neutral because it doesn't really matter, but it's the how it goes back in. It'll help because also when you're taking this out, it's gonna fall down. Well, there's a spring in here, so it's spring loaded. So just push down a little bit. It won't fly nowhere. But there's a spring underneath this. We're spinning them all in a cubby right here. And then The last ones are underneath the car. It's just 112 mil that goes across to the bolt. I'll try to get under there to show y'all. Actually, so this is the 12 mil bolt I was having to tell you. So I have the other one right here. Is literally just a bolt that goes across from the shifter linkage cable. Well, shifter linkage shaft for these. I literally have another one right there. I have a bunch of CD parts, so like, most of this I inter swap to make good, which might as well when I have this trans out. I never reconnected the balancer, but some have them and some don't have them. This one, I don't know if it had one on there when it came out the other car, but I didn't get any vibration issues, so I'm pretty sure it's fine. But I'm gonna get on here and show you that. Also, while you're under there, drive shaft and exhaust, depending on your exhaust setup or what do you have done. All right, show you where I'm at now. So like I said, that bolt goes through the bottom, and this thing, it does have a spring, which I threw it in here from the underneath. There goes the spring I'm talking about. It sits underneath this, just pushes against that. That's all it does. And from there, let me get under this car. Kind of jumped ahead, did multiple things. Zoom out. Okay, that's looking like. All right, so a little 12 mil will be right here. It's either a 12 or a 10. I think it just depends on which trans, but so far for the most ones that I have done, they've all been 10 mils. But on 370, it's a 12. No, 350s are all 10 mils and 370s. I just said it backwards again. 350, 12 mil, 370, 10 mil. There you go. So depending on your setup, with your exhaust, which I don't know, these things are just like seized on there. I was about to snap them, so I was like, all right, just leave it on there. I was lucky enough I can pull my drive shaft out with my exhaust because it's all DIY. I kind of made it. I scooted over a little bit, so I didn't really think about this, but it worked out fine. So I have enough room to get my drive shaft out. Which after you get that little 10 or 12 mil out, you usually want to take off your Y pipe, which would be those two bolts, which I don't have any of the studs. All my studs broke, so I put regular just bolts in there. And then it'll be these two here. You could drop your Y pipe without removing the back of the exhaust. But if you have a true dual, you would still have to remove the rear of the exhaust because it'll be in the way of the drive shaft. Drive shaft is these bolts that go through here, like this. They are directional, so make sure you put them back the same way. The 17, which is the nut right here, will always go through the backside, and the 18 will always be on the front. Yeah. So it'll be like that, and it's just those four. Literally drops down. This part is what goes inside the transmission, and that part's the end that connects right here. You slide that back and you're good. And then after that, slide back up. You take out these here. Actually, I gotta zoom in, so turn my light on. These are just 15s. It's those two and those two. So you can just undo these inside, and that will be just removing it from the transmission. But honestly, since I have to drop it out completely. Say if you're doing a clutch, that's all you have to do. You just undo those two, raise the front of it up, screw the trans back, and it'll still be within a cage, within the mount. But since I have to take it out completely to do the throttle bearing because it's all the way in the back, which is removing the clutch fork and everything, I have to drop this out. So it'll be these two, then these two. You can leave those in there because they'll drop out with the transmission. Hopefully I have enough room. If I don't have enough room, I'm just gonna break those off. Yeah, just break those off and get the room out. Yeah, it's crazy. I was driving with someone's microfiber they lost on a freeway. Stinks really bad, by the way. Yes, I know. It's from absolutely being low. It's not worth it. I don't like it, but good thing it's not the frame yet, so I'm fine. It's just this, which I was gonna get a solid one either way. Not tripping, but upside down backwards. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these out, which I'm gonna get the jack and go ahead and put the jack at least right here. So just in case it does fall. Oh, I have a pretty big leak from somewhere. It's interesting. Just in case it does fall, which it shouldn't because it's still attached to the motor, depending on your motor mounts. If you got solid ones, it's going to stay perfectly still. If you got the OEM ones like mine, the rubber ones, it's going to move a lot. If you have the poly ones, it's going to move less. But safety's always first, so put the jack under there. Also, you're going to need the jack to slide it back. It would help if he has a transmission jack attachment, which I'm going to Harbor Freight in a minute either way to get some more tools. And I'm going to see if they have just the attachment piece. If they have just the attachment piece for the Pittsburgh jack, I'm going to go ahead and buy that. It's just literally an open hand that like clamps on just so it doesn't roll left or right. But if that's all I got, I literally have tow straps on the car right now that I'm just going to attach to it. And we'll go from there. Alright, so also going to come to the top of the motor. Well, I think I probably skip some steps. I don't know. I'll show you when I get down there. But these are usually the hardest ones to get to, which is, I can zoom into it. Okay, that one, you can get to that one underneath. It kind of be better if you get to the top. And then there's one more right. Damn it! Flip the camera. Right there. If you get to these three on top, you're pretty good. So what I'm doing is taking everything out. You slide back on here. Got so used to using a lift. I'm just setting my bolts in order how I took them out. And by the way, these bolts over here on this transmission brace mount, they're 14s. One was a 15. The rest were all 14s for me. So you get under here. You have two 14s that go in facing down, which are these two that have facing to the ground right here, which I remember all this too, so eventually you'll get used to it if you do. But if you're in the air, you can see it a lot better. And then these are just two clips that you take out. One goes right there and the other one goes on the other side, which is a lot harder to get to. It's a clip that's up there, right there, but you can still get to it pretty easy. And then the last one is just a wheel speed sensor, which is a 10 mil that holds it right here. Bam, and it literally just pops out. Not a wheel speed sensor, crank speed sensor, which if you don't have this plug in, your car won't start, by the way. Just so you know, you can have, they say, you know, if you don't have a transmission now, you can't start a vehicle. You can literally just have the crank sensor in there and you'll be fine. Also your O2 sensors, which mine are completely obliterated. I don't ever know why I ever have this on a car. It doesn't read either way, as you can see. There's something missing. Something missing. So that you get those. There's another one right there. See right there. You also have the starter bolts, which are the ones I have right here. So I replaced this one because the one I pulled out stripped, and this is the only one. But either way, this one's supposed to be longer. The top one's supposed to be a little bit longer. I don't know like exactly how longer or whatever, but I found a round bolt, same thread pitch and everything, and I put it through there and it worked just fine. Haven't had any issues, so I'm alright though. So now I'm gonna get to these top bolts, and that's literally it. You just try to lower it down and push it back. I may just wait till I get an extra hand to drop the transmission. I can fix the transmission by myself. It's heavy, but it's not that heavy. But pushing it off from the ground, also letting all this weight drop on you, is very dangerous. So I'll probably just wait till I have an extra hand tonight to do it. And then yeah, that's literally it. It's pretty simple. I literally have basic tools. You don't need an impact. I ended up not using this. The only thing I used it for was these bolts. Still could take it out by hand. Just normal wrench and Walmart tools and Harbor Freight tools. So it's not that hard to do. But you probably can get more room if I had to exhaust it the way. Like I said, I might try to break the bolts off in a minute. But yeah, those are those steps, and I'll show y'all when I get all of them out and how I remove it. Alright, so literally got everything done now. It's just pull it out. So these are the four bolts on top. They are different lengths, so I just laid them out in order as they get placed down there. I showed you the locations earlier. So I took the half inch, put it on there with the half inch, use the cheater bar, whatever you want to call it. Just use the piece off the jack just to break all of them loose. Then went in there with this, the Cornwell one. It has a lot of teeth, so it's easy just to move real fast and get it out. But you can use literally anything. I think we used boxing wrenches last time, which I think this is way easier because the boxing wrenches we're having trouble with. That for me, I literally just laid on top of the whole engine bay. It worked just fine. Also having the car not hot at all works even better. So I have it on the jack stand right now, just so it doesn't move anywhere. Well, I'm about to come under here and see. I think there is one more bolt. Nope, that's all of them. So these two, that one, and there's the 4 at the top that I showed you, and then there's 2 more that I forgot. This is for the right hand drive starter. It sits on this side. Technically you really don't need it, it's just a dust cover kind of, but the bottom of the transmission is wide open, so it's a lot of dirt in there. It doesn't really, I don't really know why they have the bottom just wide open like that. See, you can get dirt in there and water in there. If you drive through a puddle, oh, it's leaking from right there. Bazinga found it. New steering rack, because these things are a pain in the ass. They always strip out no matter what. So yeah, that's it. Literally just gonna get I might try it because I'm retarded to pull the trans out by myself. Probably gonna get crushed. So this probably won't get uploaded, you know. GG. But yeah, that's it. That's literally it. 2 hours pretty much. I started at 11 and it is currently 1:37. I had a lot of breaks in between. I'm not really trying to rush it, but yeah, so right at say 2 hours, 2.5 hours it takes you to pull this. Like I said, it's very easy. Hopefully I have enough height. Last time I did this, I didn't have enough height. If I need to set the transmission on the block and I can go up to the front and jack the car up even higher, I don't mind that. I might just put the jacks in right here on a cross member, jack it from there, and it should have enough height. The back is supported, so it should be pretty good. And that's literally it. So I need to pull the transmission, and obviously I'll get to showing y'all about the throwout bearing and the sleeve, if that's the issue. It's a possibility. I mean, I know it's the sleeve for sure. All right, camera look better. Yeah, there we go. So it's another day. I just waited. I was trying to wait till I had extra hands, but I couldn't get extra hands, so doing it by myself. So I just got a big piece of wood, another piece of wood to lay on the back or the supports at. All I did was slowly drop it, push it back, slowly drop it, push it back, and it came out perfectly. It is a little wobbly left and right, but as you can see, getting it back in here is going to be a pain, but this isn't supposed to be like this. So it wallowed out the complete inside of it. Yeah, look. Complete inside of the throwout bearing. This is the bearing. It's seized too. And then this is the sleeve for it. So I got a new sleeve. Hopefully it didn't wear out the shaft. There's a chance of it. If it did wear out the shaft, I might pull it out of that transmission and see. Okay, I got a little hot. Nothing major. All the forks are still there. Last time this happened, it blew up. This is a McLeod Street Performance clutch, so I wasn't expecting the clutch to be that bad, but it definitely has some wear. So I should upgrade the clutch right now, but I'm good. Most of this fluid you see isn't oil from the rear main. It's transmission fluid, which I don't understand how. It's all fresh. That's the only reason why I say it's not oil. Alright, just talk to my mom real quick. But so yeah, I knew this was giving out, and I was like, oh well, but I didn't really realize how much damage because I didn't know how this was supposed to look. It's supposed to have all these little splines on the side. You see this thing's smooth. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the new bearing. I should have got a new spring thing, but it doesn't really do nothing but just keep tension. So these things, it's supposed to be press fit in there, so that's cool. You can see the ice slowly disappearing. I don't know how much force, but I know it gets press fit on there. So I'm gonna try to hammer this on real quick and then show y'all after. I don't know if you're supposed to, but I went ahead and put some tack grease, some bearing grease, the inner sleeve. It already had grease in there, and I went ahead and greased around the bearing just in case. I know someone's probably gonna say you're not supposed to, but I'll find out if you're supposed to. You're not supposed to, you know. But yeah, well, shouldn't have done that. I got hair in there. But well, just a bit of extra in there. I mean, it feels grease, but hopefully when this, and this is high temp, so it's like 1200 degrees before it like starts dripping or anything. So hopefully the transmission's not getting that damn hot. So it should be good. Should be greased pretty well. I wish I had something like bit it behind and grease it, or they had like a Zerk fitting somewhere, but can't do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in here. See if I can do it with one hand right now. Nope, I can't. I guess I just start recording and set you up. Try to. Hopefully that's good. Clutch is in the way in the top right, but I mean, literally the same way you take it out is the same way you put it in. So that pivot ball already has. Ooh, I'm trying to miss everything down here though. You will kind of want to just line it up though. Pulls out a little bit, goes over. That goes through. My dust shield on this side though. So yeah, this is the shaft is has some play in it. Pilot ball went in the right spot. And my dust cover. Okay, got that down. Got that in there. The dust cover folded out, which I'm not really worried about. It doesn't really do anything, honestly. It doesn't prevent anything when you have a whole hole in the bottom of your transmission. That's some metal shavings in there. I don't know where that came from. So, like that goes there. So that's literally what it does. Whenever you push on your clutch, it pushes right here and pushes the pilot bearing forward. Obviously the clutch springs it back by itself. That's how that works. But sometimes it gets stuck engaged when it goes out, and either it'll be seized on the back of the clutch, or as you saw whenever I pulled it out, it was way back there and just dangling there because it came off. So those are some things that you can look for. Obviously you're gonna get that squeal when you push the clutch in. Either the wheels are stuck engaged or they won't engage at all. So it's one or the other. For my situation, it was pretty much the clutch was half engaged and halfway not engaged. I was able to throw the car in gear because of synchros. You're able to still make it go into gear, but then at the same time I couldn't stop because the clutch was engaged. So as soon as I try to let off the clutch, it automatically stalled the car, even if it was in neutral, because it acted like the car was in gear the whole time. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to maneuver this back up in here. Probably be hard as hell, but we got it. I probably ruined. No, I didn't. Oh well. So I'm gonna try to get this back up in here, struggle for a bit, and then show y'all that. Oh damn! I dropped my phone. I can actually zoom out. I ain't got that much space on my phone, but yeah. So got it in there. Actually, somehow perfect. I don't even know. I think honestly did not struggle putting it back in by myself. Surprisingly, I thought it was gonna be hard because last time it did not want to go in at all. But yeah, I just gotta fix this, which I don't really care about the damn dust boot. Like I said, there it goes. That's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like that. So yeah, you see this over here? No, this reverse order as you take it off. Put everything back on perfectly as you did. I'm gonna put these cross member, the transmount back in there just so it stays in place. Because last time we put the bolts in and then we didn't put this in. We lowered the bolt jack, we forgot, and it backed out from the bolts. That's how it stripped the starter bolt. But put this all back in here and bazinga, that'll be it for the trans. Alright, all the interiors all together. Shift knob back together. Just put it together right now. Can't mind all that. Batteries on. Everything's back in. The exhaust is on there. will still do that, but if it's not trying to force itself in. Go all the way down. Consistent pressure. There we go. Let me try to fit it into gear though. Oh yeah, it goes fine. That's in first. So that's in gear. So yeah, we're good. Yeah, that's it. We're good. That's crazy. All my things are to change again. The distance I had marked right here was at 6,700 miles, and that's when I swapped out the transmission. So now this new measurement right here, I use this to track, you know, whenever I do big maintenance like that, and I just use these for gas and oil for my maintenance. Whenever I put gas in there, you know, whenever I put oil. It's a cool trick for y'all to do. I don't know, I do it all the time because you have this one too, your track timer, red line, you know, miles per hour. Yay. Check engine light will come on here soon. I'm gonna let this sit because I use this battery for another car, so I'm gonna let this sit right now on, and we'll be good. I'll get it on the floor. Yes sir, that's it.